am not a native Austinite, but have the good pleasure of spending a lot of time here, which is great. We live in a great city. I live in Israel, as Katie mentioned, right now. I am a midwife and a public health person, and I founded this organization, Circle of Health International, in January 2004 here in Israel, or here in Austin. And our mission is some like highfalutin thing where we build the capacity of women's health professionals in crisis. And what that really translates as is we work with midwives in places of war and disaster. And we work in 3 different areas: safe motherhood, HIV/AIDS, and gender-based violence. And usually when I do these things, I just sort of talk off the cuff, and I have some little short films that we show, but I am a new mom, and I don't have a whole lot of brain power left really at this point in the day. So I actually wrote things down tonight, and I was like running through it with my mom before I came. She's like, "Come on, you gotta just talk." And I really, if I talked right now, I don't even know where I would go. So you'll bear with me. I will read slowly. But this is such a cool place. This is such an amazing space, and the stuff that they're doing here is really important in it. And it speaks to the mission of my organization as well, in conflict resolution. The most profound work I've ever been involved with is the Israeli-Palestinian project that I'm involved with right now. And we have been working for 3 years with Israeli and Palestinian midwives and providing opportunities for them to come together. And given the most recent violence that took place in Gaza and southern Israel, I live 20 miles from Gaza, and rockets fell 2 blocks from my house. And I can't begin to explain to you the fear that runs through you when you are running with your newborn child in your arms to a bomb shelter. And where I live in southern Israel was the quiet part. Gaza, which I could see every night, had a whole different experience going on. And so our project works on both sides. We work with trauma survivors in both Israel and the West Bank and Gaza. And it's an incredible thing to be a part of. So that, and combined with my practice as a Buddhist and my experience leading and participating in self-defense classes, I wanted to take the opportunity tonight to bring a lot of this stuff together. And I definitely had to write that down. So I don't hardly even remember what I just said. So I'm just going to read. And then I have like a photo montage of a lot of the different projects that we've done, with some statistics about women and health and where we work. And what I thought is, I really like these experiences where we can talk and can dialogue about a lot of this stuff, especially since I hope that there are lots of people here. I mean, the list of sponsors was super cool, and I hope that some of those folks are here tonight and we can talk a little bit about what we all do and how it feeds to this broader movement against violence, to stop violence in its many forms. So I'm just going to skip all of that because I just said it. All right. I'm usually asked to speak about the work that I'm involved with, international development and women's health, or the international nonprofit that I run, or some aspect of a downer subject like rape or war or displacement. So it goes without saying that I am thrilled to be invited to speak by an organization like this dojo, charged with a truly empowering mission to arm women with skills to protect themselves. I'll share statistics and all of that, of course, as a conversation about health, women, and violence doesn't have the proper framework without the numbers lending shadow and definition to the issues. That said, I'm here tonight to talk about us, mostly us, women. I see some very supportive men in the audience as well. Defending our bodies and our collective sense of self. I'm working on an article entitled In Defense of Self, exploring how my Buddhist practice, dedication to nonviolent action, and the threat of sexual assault have played out in my own life and work. And this paper will be the basis of my talk tonight. I'm a midwife, a public health professional, a somewhat radical feminist, a very humbled new mother, a wife, a sister, a daughter, a friend, a baby Buddhist, a secular Jew, and above all, from my first breath in the morning to my last at night, I'm a woman. That lens is impossible for me to shake off or discard, and it's that perspective that shapes my every move. Some of my earliest memories as a child are of my parents telling me that my body is mine, and I should never let anyone touch it in a way that makes me uncomfortable. My mother spent a great amount of energy teaching us, my sister and I, about our right to choose, and to choose just about anything. This clearly set the stage for where I would put my energy as an activist. As a young adult, I led Take Back the Night marches through the streets of Montana and facilitated self-defense courses gifting women with the skills needed to physically disable and kill an attacker. I spent years volunteering as an abortion counselor, childbirth educator, and midwife. I've sat with countless women around the world, courageously coming forward after surviving sexual assaults, terror attacks, civil wars, displacements, and natural disasters. I've borne witness to such strength, and I could hear my own heart cracking, trying to envelop their pain and fear. It was in an attempt to repair these cracks in my own foundation that I started an organization to provide health services to women specifically in times of war and disaster, Circle Without International. However, none of this training, academic theory, or listening has prepared me for what I am to do when this kind of crime against humanity, such as rape, is aimed at me. Strangely, or perhaps not so, I'm often physically attacked, or have been so in the past. Countless times, and